Well, we should get started. I know Linda's got other commitments she's trying to get to, so we want to try and start as close to on time as possible. Welcome all. It is Thursday, August 14th, 5:06. Scituate Council on Aging Board meeting. We haven't met in quite a while because we kind of skipped out on July. So welcome all, as we always do. We're going to do a quick round of just introductions. We are being filmed for SCTV. We'll do a quick round of introductions, and then I do want to come back and introduce again our new members or our new faces here. So I'm J.D. Miller, Chair. We'll go this way.
Okay, Linda Hayes Kelly, the Director of the Senior Center. And I can let Kelly introduce herself, but then we do have some no's. So.
Kelly Walsh, the Outreach Coordinator.
Outreach Coordinator, but she is also our new Assistant Director. So.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Just to get
Wonderful.
the camera.
Very well deserved. Thank you.
Go ahead.
I'm Bethany O'Connor. I am a board member.
Susan Pope, Board Member.
Russ Paulin, Board Member.
Elaine Shambari, liaison from Fox.
Kenzie Vanderberg, representing South Shore Elder Services.
Freya Schlegel, Select Board.
Pat Calvin, Board Member.
Anna Morse, new board member.
Susan Dravich Kelly, Vice Chair of the Board.
Welcome all, and as I mentioned, I'd love to just come back around for just a minute or two and have our new members introduce themselves again and maybe give us a little bit of background as to what brings you here.
JD, somebody taking notes?
Oh, and we do need a secretary. Yes, I'm sure it was taken last time. Russ, you didn't do it last time.
No.
Okay. Can we tee you up for tonight?
Aren't you glad you came, Russ?
You can't say no.
Well,
Well, we have two new
Since
board
I- yes,
members,
of
but
course.
it wouldn't be fair to, throw the ball to them.
awesome.
All right, I'm Bethany O'Connor. I majored in gerontology, so I've been working in the senior field for 18-ish years. Started in home care, I worked a little bit at South Shore Hospital as case manager, and most recently I work as an admissions director at a nursing home.
So she knows Janice Lindblom, who was on our board for several years, and we did enjoy and love, so nice. We can still work with her.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. Anna?
I'm Anna Morse. I live right down the street on Jackson Road. I've been in the seasoned healthcare worker. I worked at MGH in cardiovascular surgery, business manager, the cancer center at BID with the old Jordan Hospital as the business manager of the cancer center. And now I'm part-time working at South Shore Hospital at the Bridge program, which is a program relatively new for about 4 years now.
Yeah.
And it's for addictions and opiates. And it's a volunteer outpatient, it's going like going to a doctor's office, but to help anyone from the age of 18 all the way up to 85 with any issues they're having with addictions. And we just opened a food pantry, a mini food pantry in our facility, which is nice.
Facility being
We have our own building. We would,
over the
yeah,
on campus?
we used to be, just before I came, we were in the hospital itself.
Yep.
And then the building became open and they gave us the whole building at 797 Main Street.
Okay.
And we have the whole building now.
Wow.
So we have like a mini food pantry and we have like a mini clothes drive that we receive. And then we also have the Bridge program, which is for addictions and opiates. And then on the other side is for peri and postnatal issues for mothers. And they're allowed to be in the program for 2.5 years with their children. And we have toys and books and clothes for the children and diapers.
Donations of clothes.
Sure, yeah, yes. So I think it's a wonderful program. And we
Right.
have homeless all the way up to very wealthy. Doesn't discriminate.
Yeah. Yeah. Welcome.
Thank you.
Freya? You can give your politician speech.
I don't know that I have a politician speech. What am I, why did I choose Council of Aging.
Thank you for volunteering for us, yes, I'm sure it wasn't the
I mean, I
short
love the
straw.
fact your meetings are early in the day. I'm not a night person.
Oh, was
so
that good?
A 5 o'clock meeting's amazing.
Glad to know.
But yeah, no, I did chair massage here, what, was that 3 or 4 years ago now?
Well,
I
when we
don't
first
know.
opened 4 years ago,
Yeah,
and then for a year or two.
so I was somewhat familiar with the senior center, and I do enjoy chatting with the senior population. I feel like you can learn a lot.
Well, we're very happy
Welcome.
to have you, our liaison.
We should hop right on to you.
So we just fight for it. Well, the minutes, you can do the minutes,
Oh,
because
I think about it.
the minutes were done. Hopefully they are fairly complete if you want to look real quick at them. Unless you want to wait on that. You want to wait?
Well, now we teed it up.
All
We
right,
should do it real
sorry.
quick.
Yes, you like that in sentence. Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, for sure.
Is that something you take?
I mean, just so you know. Oh, you,
Yeah.
oh, not that you need to. And these meetings, well, of course, our current board members know this, but the meetings are recorded. Sometimes there has been a camera person, but they're short a little bit, so we just tee it up and press a button.
And then Scituate Cable TV will put it up. Probably later today or tomorrow. Well, does anyone have any comments, edits on minutes from way back in June? Can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I move that we approve the minutes.
And a second?
Second.
Very good, thank you very much.
Okay?
Okay?
All right. Thanks, everyone, for coming. Nice to see everybody, and especially our new board members and Freya, too. So I really do appreciate that people are interested in being here and hearing what we do and helping out where able. So I will let you know, so I gave you just a few sheets of kind of overall board responsibilities or overview. Ideally, I'd like to give you a binder that would have a table of contents. I don't know, there's documents that you need to complete for the town, which you may have already done, but we can put them in
Alright.
there. And then dates for the board meetings, and a roster, so to speak, of everyone in case you do want to communicate.
Something
So
like this.
it's exactly like that, but I did not get it yet. But at least that was the beginnings of what could go in there, as well as each month's packet, which I do try to send out electronically, at least a portion of it. The agenda certainly, in the minutes I try to if I get them in time. But and then the reports are usually brought here physically. Anyway, so that I will get to. I'd like to let you know, I mean, between the 2 months, for June and July combined, we've had 100 new registered members. So each month, that is easily anywhere from 30, 35 to 55 or 65 sometimes. So that can be in a month's time that people have come in to register brand new.
Yeah, how's that?
So that was 50-50 each month, really. We use the building for outside group meetings at night as well, in addition to ours. But for instance, even last night, there were 2 committee meetings, and then also the Rotary Club meets as well. So suddenly it was a busy building on a Wednesday night, which does happen on occasion. And then, as you know, tonight, the art reception, which we try to do every 2 months for our exhibitors. It's just it's a nice way to thank them for displaying their work with us, but also a chance for people they know to see them and see their work, and also get into the building. So it's a win-win all around, and it's always a nice night. We continue to receive some donations in memory of Ann Mullen, which is upwards now to just over $8,000. Also for Dennis Cody, which is probably 300 or 400 at this point, but also very nice. And we did get a donation from the Shine Administrative Office, so for the state, so to speak, to cover our expenses. It's varied each year, but they do have money sometimes to dedicate to that, but they wait till the end of the fiscal year to give it to us. So it was $2,800, which is a good amount. And lastly, someone's trust named us, and so we got a few $100s from that. We didn't know it was coming. And actually, I think there's another one coming in, which is a lot more money, which is always nice.
Now, if it's a trust, is it annual? Or is it a one-time disbursement?
It didn't necessarily say that, and I didn't get any paperwork. I literally got the check, and I was able to see what it was from.
Okay.
Is this an enterprise fund, Linda?
It's not.
No, okay.
So people can donate to us, and it goes into a particular account. It can either be dedicated, like they could say, to programs or transportation, and then it could go into that revolving account or that particular line item. But otherwise, people may donate to the Friends, for anything that they might be able to do for us too. So that's how we usually get the donations. But we have a gift donations account, standing. So let's see, I am caught up on monthly reports. I've been talking about to Mass Dot for our grant-funded COA van, so that's really a lot of paperwork, and I've been working on that for some time because, not to say we get behind, to do the monthly reports that are to keep us in compliance with GATRA or DOT. We need all the reports to come in from we use Social Community Action Council for a lot of our rides. We need information that comes from GATRA. We need our personnel, the driver, records, salaries, and whatnot before we can submit the report. So anyway, the numbers are mostly ridership numbers, but I am up to my timing is at where we need a new report done, actually. So
That sounds like a perfect thing.
for somebody, yeah.
For somebody new to tackle.
Yes. Well, and I know I should get to that. I'm just going in order in my report so you can follow. But anyway, I talked a little bit about the exhibits already. So landscaping, I don't know if anybody's noticed, but everything except for the back island looks fabulous. The back island looks like a field. So for some reason, I had left that off, the original request with J. Michael Landscaping, but otherwise they've been wonderful. So they did a whole initial pruning up of everything, and now we're coming monthly through September, and then we'll see. But I'm also talking to Kennedy Gardens about a new tree, which should come in a week or two before he loses his summer help. And then we are doing something at the entrance in memory of Ann Mullen in particular, just because we did get money, and that would be something she would appreciate. We needed that, so we have some daffodils, but we had to take out some shrubs to put in the sign so people could see it from both directions. And now we just can see, we need to fill it in a little bit, so it should be a little more welcoming. So I was using Chris for that, but that's not done yet.
Quick question. So I wasn't at the last meeting, I guess when you brought up the J. Michael, forgive my voice, but at least I have one. But so is this now, I mean, I'm really familiar with them because I've used them myself, but in other words, are they now going to be like an actual ongoing, regular?
They are for now. The town has a contract with them.
Oh,
So
good.
that made it easy for me to use them,
Oh,
so they're in the
okay.
system.
Perfect.
I mean, we could have probably done someone else if I really wanted to, but we were relying on volunteers, which it's
It's
just
too much.
Mhm.
Yeah, so this is great, so now the town is
Yeah,
contracted. Oh, that's awesome.
And, we did get the donations, we do have the money, so I think it's a worthwhile use of the funds.
Good, great.
That is happening, and they're very nice, they're good. Also, not to say I sound like I'm spending, for this room, as you know, it is the social day program, 2 days a week and now 2.5 days a week. And everybody loves this room. We use it the other days for support groups or classes or presentations or whatever can fit in here when we need it. But there's no storage. So without showing you what the bathroom looks like right now, which is in the corner, but that was basically the storage closet, we are having some built-in cabinets for storage put here. We definitely had looked at the room, but it doesn't, we didn't want it to take away square footage so that you could still fit the sort of maximum number of people for a meeting if you needed to, or a presentation. But because we keep the table here and we use the video screen anyway, it should work out. So tall cabinet, sort of under surface, and then a shorter cabinet because it's against the window. So it should be good storage, and as soon as we get them ordered, which could take 3 or 4 weeks, then the carpenters can do it in a day and a half maybe. So hopefully they're done mid-September, that's the
Super.
idea. So I'm looking forward to it, as is Lucille and the rest of the
Kenzie?
group.
I have a question. I got a question from someone in another town asking me whether we were charging for the day programs, and I really didn't have an answer for that.
We do charge for the day program. We charge $40 for the full day and $25 for the new half day. And essentially that does cover the fee, or did cover the fee for the coordinator.
Yeah.
When we first proposed it to the select board, to the administration of the select board, there was a lot of discussion because I had had a pretty good-sized donation that I certainly could just use to fund it. But we did think it should cost something, and that's a pretty great fee for, it's probably one of the lower. It might be the lowest. Because Duxbury has one and Marshfield has one, but still, I actually haven't had to dip into it. I mean, if we need it, it's there, but otherwise, we really haven't used it, but it's there if we need it. So we do charge, but it's pretty good.
Thank
That's
you.
by the day.
Yeah,
And we
it was another town that had lost their program during COVID, and they were trying to figure out why it was that it was never able to come back.
Yeah.
And they thought maybe cost was an issue, but.
I mean, it's not, and honestly, because we have some funding, if someone couldn't pay, we would probably just say that's okay. And I think we have. maybe.
We're still maxed out too, right?
We're maxed out on the Monday and Wednesday, and
Room on
the
Sunday.
Friday, we're still kind of putting together. So, we're not maxed out, and because of that, the people from Monday and Wednesday who would grab
I'm
anything
not picking a
that
Friday.
we might offer, a couple of them are coming in, almost as though like at the last minute, well, let's say, if somebody wasn't able to come, we could fill the spot, and they're ready and willing, probably sitting by the
We'll be
phone.
at 2 in the hospital or rehab tomorrow, so I closed for those.
So is it 20 or 25 for the half day? Thank you.
Maybe we could adjust that, but right now, that's what it is. So our new half day on Friday mornings, I did talk a little bit about, we do have a steady intern, so to speak, helping out as a volunteer. So she's a volunteer. She's gearing up to go to graduate school in the field. So she was interested in doing it, and she's been very good. And as you know, Alex, who had been a volunteer but now is taking on the Friday morning.
Oh.
And now Kelly, for instance, is the backup for the time being still, because she did it in the interim between Jen and Lucille. So she's more than capable, and it's nice. They look forward to having her. That could change now, but she's taking tomorrow and also next week with Lucille on vacation, so she's not really able to do too much else just yet. And as well, she's really kind of managing the new people coming in to make sure they are a fit. As we do interview, we don't
Yeah.
call it that, it's a tour, it's a little bit of Q&A, a little bit of time spent, that's all, just to see how it might work. And a lot of times there's still a trial day or 2 days just to see if they are really ready to be here. Because we did have someone bow out who the family thought was ready and she was agreeable, but they still have to want to come in the morning, and if that doesn't happen more than once, then they're not right. Because they expect them, they look forward to seeing each other, so it's disruptive. So also, as mentioned at the previous meeting, and Susan, if you missed it, or if anybody does, usually you see the packets are usually done, and they sit in my office afterwards until,
Good point.
so feel free to ask for that if you want to see it. But anyway, Kelly did
If
write.
you can find anything in your office.
I know exactly which pile they're in.
Which pile? Yeah, I've started putting stickers on the top of the But Kelly did write and receive a $20,000 grant from MCOA.
That's
That
great.
will-
Oh, that's awesome.
It really is wonderful.
Yeah.
So partly because we wanted to expand a little bit more in that arena to do memory cafes that do need entertainment or maybe some bigger materials or a speaker or something. But as well, it could also continue to support the social day program itself.
It's awesome.
I don't think we'll expand to more than the 3 days, just because we do need the room.
Yeah.
We can't really give up the room 5 days. And we'll see what pressure we get at some point, but really, that's what I would say right now. You know, I want to mention, if anyone did not get to come to the volunteer luncheon and didn't get their hat, we have them in Gail's office, so people should make sure they get their
You
gift.
should have worn them at tonight's
It's a
meeting.
nice gift, so I did want to make mention of that. And a lot of this is in Gail's report as well for activities, and I was not present, but the Scituate band did come and ended up playing indoors for, I think, a very appreciative crowd. Kelly was here, and Jill was here. They did love it, and so did the band.
Yeah, they want to be indoors again.
So it's supposed to be outdoors, it seemed like a nice, easy thing to do, and we want to sort of utilize the grounds, but the band liked indoors for their instruments and themselves probably, and they also want to practice here from now on, so, you know, the secret's out. But it was nice to have them, and that was a great event to be able to offer. The Brown Brothers are performing for us or coming in.
They're very popular.
They are very popular, and with good reason. Everybody sort of knows them. They graduated, I think they're either class of 67 or 8. So there's a lot of Scituate people here.
68.
They do ride with us, so to speak, in the parade. So the music is great for what we do for walking the parade. We get to dance a little bit, and everybody loves them, and then it's like they love us too. It's just sort of contagious. But so they are performing at 4 o'clock on the 29th, which is a Friday, so 4 to 6 about. And we do put out hot dogs and beans and watermelon. It's just like a little picnic, but the community's welcome. We try to advertise to them as well as the seniors. You know, dinner's a first come, first serve, so who knows? Hopefully we have enough always. But that is who's coming for that. And that's being supported. So the Friends do pay for most of our entertainment because they have offered, and a couple of years ago at least, the funds that were donated for Jim Young after he passed away was really because he loved the entertainment we used to. He always had suggestions. So that just kind of established it with them, and so they've continued to do that for us, so that's nice. It's getting more expensive to get entertainment. The wood turner, social wood turning club members have started to do wood turning once a month with us, so they've signed up for 6 months. So we had 6 people do it last month in July, and 6 signed up for August, and so that hopefully will continue. It's a nice addition.
What is wood turning?
Wood turning, you use a lathe, so I suppose it could be considered a little like pottery, because it's the smooth stuff. The pens that we gave out 2 or 3 years ago, those were made by the social wood turners, and that's what they did as their first project.
Okay.
So they did it in July, and they're doing it
So
again.
it's like wood carving, but it's with a lathe.
Well, it's not wood carving really, because that's more manual.
I see, this
And
is
this
with
is
machine.
more with a machine. So that's the difference that I can tell you. We also, and tomorrow is our second, but the live virtual travel tours that we started just last month with a small grant amount of money from the Cultural Council, but last month we did Paris, and tomorrow is Barcelona, and then in September it's Rome. So we only signed on for 3 months, but actually it's been a nice thing.
How did it go? Yeah.
Great. Paris was fun. We bought croissants from French Memories, just to set the mood. And she was great. It's literally, she's live. In that case, it was a woman. This time, it's actually going to be a man. But they are walking the streets of their city and talking to us and showing us, you know, scenery and giving history and quizzing us if we remember what she had told us already. So it
So
was
is
fun.
this instead of the Friday flips?
No, it's in the morning.
Okay.
Not instead of Friday Flips. I think the Brown Brothers is instead of Friday Flips, if I'm not mistaken. Sometimes. So I've already mentioned Kelly's sort of promotion or election into the assistant director role, which I know you all know has taken some time for us, but very happy to have it come down to this, which, you know, we could have done some time ago, but there is a process which we followed.
Yes, congratulations.
So it is very nice, and she's been taking on a lot more anyway already, and so that will continue. But the tax work-off program for the senior tax work-off and other volunteer sort of coordination and management or oversight of volunteers will go to her, among some other things, in assisting me with building, some building management facility And it will evolve, which we always expected it would, as we can, you know. As you know, she's also scheduled, I think you know, to take on a couple of support groups this fall. And then within outreach, I mean, she'll have involvement with that side of things, so we will now need to post for an outreach coordinator. And then also Stephanie left us, sadly, but we have started interviewing for a transportation coordinator, so, you know, 2 steps forward, 1 step forward, 2 steps back, I don't know, something like that. But once we get those in, and interestingly enough, we actually almost have identified in the just the few interviews we've done, somebody that could do either one, so maybe it could be that easy, even though we do still have to post it, so for internal purposes, we have to post it. And then also, even in the assistant director, when I was getting applications, I did note a couple of them might have been good for it. So, I mean, I think we have some good ones that may make it faster.
Good.
We hope. Question? And our new driver, newest, I should say, driver, Rich Durkin, is now active, but we had to wait, even though he got hired in April, we had to wait till June. We just couldn't get him the training that's required. So in the end, we had Martap, who does the training for the regional and for Mass DOT. So we did it here. Because we couldn't get them in anywhere else, we just did it here for some of the surrounding towns also could sign on their drivers, and we put Stephanie through, which is unfortunate. Now she's not here. So we'll have to do that again. That was a good move, you know, just for the coordinator on the inside, knowing what the drivers really do need to know and what she could rely on their knowing, and because she knew it. So we'll probably try to do that again. But as it turns out, our highest level driver, our most veteran driver, is pulling back on his hours, as it turns out, and doing trips. I mean, he'll be around, but just not really active for the rides he was doing, which is to say he was doing Boston, which is a biggie, because we do get a lot of those requests. We do use Social Community Action Council, which I think you all know, but it is more expensive to do that. So we can use them, but they have a more limited time frame for people making those appointments in Boston, and so it's a little harder, but also more expensive. So we may need another new driver.
The drivers, are they paid or are they volunteers?
Oh, but no, they're paid such as it is. I mean, they should be paid a little more. Either with my last budget submission or the one before. Even Kelly had done this actually when she was transportation coordinator, to just the surrounding towns to see what they were being paid. And we were pretty much on the low end, so we did get a little bump, but they are on the non-union schedule for payroll. And so it's a very clear, you know, starting rate and step. And so there's not a lot of latitude, but we can lobby to see if they can be raised for the starting, and then it's every year they get another bump, or twice a year, COLA and anniversary, so, you know, but they do get paid. We don't right now use volunteer drivers, and that's a little tricky thing because of the insurance and liability, which we have on the vans, but don't have on private vehicles. We have had them in the past because they've said that's fine, that they had their own insurance and they were willing to do that, but it wasn't encouraged. So now, and probably since COVID, we just haven't really jumped back into it. What we have done instead sometimes is recruited a couple. We could use more of these, though, the van companions.
Yeah.
And we could use a couple more, because that's been very helpful. Colonoscopies, for instance, or finding that we say, you know, they really need to be independent to be able to ride the van. The driver is supposed to be curb to curb,
Right.
even though they will, obviously, they'll help them out. Some will walk them into the, you know, the hospital lobby or whatever, but they should be able to manage their own appointments. They can't always, but a van companion can help them.
Yeah.
So we'll continue to really try to do that for as many people as we can, for as long as we can, because it's nice. So just to move on, of course, you do have the activities report from Gail Hedstrom, our activities coordinator. So it's very thorough, and the numbers are there both for June and July, which was nice. And I guess without seeing the numbers, I would have said, wow, it's been a little quieter summer, and that hasn't always happened, but instructors are starting to take time off, which maybe we didn't have as many, I don't know. And now, they do work hard, and especially many of you know Sue, I mean, she teaches 5-6 classes a week, 4 days a week. So she does take some time. Our yoga instructors, both have taken time. So I thought that would show itself in the numbers, but really we've had some subs, and even though it seems quieter, there's still been plenty of activity and plenty of sign-ins, as you can see.
I mean, these numbers are consistent.
They are consistent, so we can't complain about that at all. Funny, I made notes on something that overheard. So, just in terms of community education, and we did a recent presentation since we've been talking about the dementia group, a driving with dementia, which was well received, and I think we'll probably try that again. The virtual travel and Scituate band I'd already mentioned. The fitness and exercise and even recreation numbers are pretty high. But the walking group does really try to do what they want to do, really in April, May, and June, but then July and August, they kind of pull up because of the heat and the ticks, and there's just some concern. But then they start up again in September, October. So that is happening, but they did go out to the Spit. That was nice when we could arrange that. We drove them in the van because you can't park there, and then, someone knows what they're doing and gets them down. Bocce's always is very active, mostly Tuesday and Wednesday, because we have the consultants, the volunteers that do just help organize the games a little bit and teach people that may not know how to play. And then the mindful nature walks, we continue to try to do those each month. That's a nice meditative chance to be outdoors, a little forest therapy. It's very nice. Lyle Nyberg was here talking about his new book, On the River. Bob Jackman's got a continuous 6-week class, as you know. Mahjong, we get, they get younger and younger coming in to learn how to play and then often stay. So the 7 tables in there are usually filled with 4 people. So that's, generally speaking, we get 30 people more or less to play Mahjong. Junaid Yassin, he is a Scituate resident, but he did a 4-week session on sort of a geopolitical history and world kind of economics at the moment. And that was very well received, and we hope we'll get him back again to do something, probably, we hope in the winter, spring timeframe. And then the wood turning I mentioned. And again, the recreation, I mean, that falls into, lots of things fall into that. Knitting, which gets bigger all the time, and I'm just not sure what we're gonna do when they can't fit in the harbor room anymore. Bridge has grown 2 to 3 or 4 tables, so that's pretty steady on Friday mornings. And the pool table use, people are still often here playing pool. We did do a 4th of July little summer kickoff, which I had talked about last meeting, I know. But it went off very well. We love the trio. We'd love to have them back again. And they were inside as well. They preferred playing inside, but people were very positive about them, enjoyed the music. So that was a little different for us, and they liked them. And also author Jim Glinsky, who is a historian as well, and he is part of the Historical Society here. He did a great talk for the men's breakfast on the American Revolution. That was in July, actually, so June had been officers from the police department, which we probably reported on. But we've done very well getting our speakers for the men's breakfast, and it's not easy. And I know we still continue to call it the men's breakfast. Ladies are invited. I think we might be on the precipice of changing the name one of these days. Somebody left a message for me the other day, and they called it the Tuesday morning breakfast. And I thought, we could probably do that. So we'll see, because it's not just men, really.
I think it's nice that the men have their own.
I know, and that is true, and it always was nice. It is bigger, and because it's here, I guess, they do intermingle well, and it doesn't seem to have discouraged participation. I could be wrong. We do have a men's book group, actually, that is expanding, and they meet right after the men's breakfast, and they put your husbands in that, right? Yeah, it's great. It's been really nice. Volunteer-wise, I could also mention, we've had a couple of high school volunteers helping Gail, and as well, we've had a high school volunteer doing the dishes, which we had desperately needed, and now continue to need. So we have to really do a little bit of a push to try to get at least one new dishwasher, maybe two, at least a backup. It's a 2-hour, 3-hour job. I guess I wouldn't say 3, 11 to 1, maybe something like that. And it is kind of hard work, not for the faint of heart, I guess, but we do rely on it. It's important. So that's been something we have really needed. But otherwise, in front desk volunteers, I'm probably still looking for a couple of those, so we'll be talking about that, Kelly. And kitchen as well. So those are our primary, volunteers that do work the most hours and steadiest. But we have others, and Mike Davis does the parking lot monitoring. He's only here 2 days a week. Luckily, he is here on Wednesdays when we do the Art for Your Mind, which was a mess yesterday. Because I think people turned around and left that couldn't find parking. So we had 90 signed up, and we probably had 75 sit, and most of that, if not all of it, was probably parking.
Do you have valet parking here?
Well, that's what Mike Davis
That's what you're
does
supposed to
as
be
part of
doing.
the tax
More
work
than one
program. He does 2 days a week. I mean, we could probably recruit more. It's just been, people knew when he was coming. We chose kind of the busiest days. Sometimes they use him. Even if he sort of scouts and says, there's an opening coming up here, because certainly we try to fix that, but that's what we do.
Does he actually park the cars? for
He
people?
will. If they want to give him the keys, he'll park the car. Somebody left the car, like,
Running?
well, not actually running, but just sort of left it where you wouldn't leave it while he waited for a spot that he could move it to. Sometimes he might drive it down to the tennis courts, but that's been a little less available because of the rec department being
All
open
summer,
and
yeah.
running for the summer first, for some of their programs
I
and
mean,
pickups.
I was here yesterday,
Oh.
I ended up parking down at the old school building, the Historical Society building,
Yeah,
because there was just
Okay.
nothing from here
right?
all the way down.
Well, that's actually where often they've had to go, yes, that far down, but because of the pickups with rec, I'm surprised you got that, but actually I called Nick, because I said, oh, you're gonna kill us. And he said it was okay with them, they didn't need it till 1, so it was fine that they were coming in, because some of the parents need to park to pick up their kids, because they're young. Anyway, it sort of worked out, but yes, that far down. So, just to catch Freya up, I mean, it's not happening, but we had hoped and really could have got a golf cart, which was,
there you go.
a good idea. If somebody was parking down there, then Mike would have zipped down, picked them up and brought them back.
Was that a funding thing, or?
It was not a funding thing. We could buy it, we couldn't
Okay.
store it, because we don't have any indoor storage,
Okay.
storing area for a vehicle. So I had originally thought, we have sort of overhangs, so maybe it could just sit there, but because they're electric,
A
we would
liability,
have to
yeah.
go inside.
Have you guys estimated at all how much parking you would like?
There was a time 4 years ago, I mean, for the first 6 months, we did a study where we counted cars every day for 6 months. But then it was determined that we could live with it the way it was. And then also, it's just been wait and see what happens here.
Right.
So that's kind of what we've been doing, just knowing that something will change. And then I will say, when we heard the design, the only thing both Nick and I said, well, we can't lose, we
Parking.
needed more parking, we can't
Can't
lose extra
Right, I was
parking.
just curious if you guys knew what you needed.
Not really. I mean,
More.
maybe at
Well, I
one
know
time.
that, I know that it's more.
I mean, we could say we have 70 spaces in this parking
Mm-hmm.
lot. 100 would be a round number that we could probably live with.
Okay.
Originally, there was a 16-space extra lot proposed
Out in the corner.
out of the budget that we could still draw from for the building, and that, the planning board just didn't vote for that, you know what I mean? They didn't think we needed to do that. That would have cut in a bit to not really the field
Mhm.
in the back there in the corner by where the vans are, but it would have abutted the field a little bit more closely, and so, anyway. So that was even, it's only 16, but it would have been decent.
Yeah.
Good to know. But so that's sort of what I would say. So, so that is activities and a little bit about volunteers. And then I apologize, I didn't do a transportation report. I meant to try to grab the numbers. But it's steady, it's busy. You know, at the moment, Kelly, again, how many times have I mentioned her tonight, is filling in for Stephanie for the most part, while we continue to try to hire. So she could probably speak better to it, but it is busy, and we are utilizing all our drivers again. Stephanie did offer and is coming in and will continue to come in 1 or 2 days, but not days, a couple of hours a week really to help us produce some of the reports that still need to get out and maybe do a little coordination if she can when she comes in after her job. Just in terms of money, we do something called MAP, which is the Medical Access Program, where we do get certain amount of money from Social Elder Services through a grant that's written for all the surrounding towns collectively, and we get basically $3,000 each to use. And that was used up in May, so again, our prices kind of went up, or what we have to pay has gone up because we don't have that to utilize, which we usually use that for people that we know can't pay. So now we'll take that on, coming out of the budget, until well, actually,
Annual?
until it repopulate. I think that's the end of September. I think that's October. It could be September 1 now, I can't remember. So I'll report that next time. So really, just the personnel changes that have already been mentioned, the utilization of LINK or Social Community Action Council for more rides than usual because we're a little down also with drivers. But that is okay, we've done that before.
I'll give a shout out to Gatra.
Shout out to Gatra, which, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you know, I've taken it a few times, and that's why I got here early today. It arrived sooner than expected, that's why I left my house without the phone. But, you know, picked up one other person, and
It's
Who brought you?
we aren't unhappy with them. I mean, it ends up that many of our people even utilize it to even get here or get picked up from here because maybe we can't do the ride. So it gives them a little more flexibility, and it gives us, Stephanie was very nice about actually making the reservation a lot for some of the riders who maybe it wasn't as easy for them to do that, but.
you know, it's not Uber, but,
Yeah.
but
It's like Uber.
it tells you when they're coming and keeps you updated.
So the app is
Response
good
right
if you
away.
can do it, yeah, that's great. Good to know. Well, that is my report for you. I'm gonna let Kelly do her own, but if anybody has any questions.
Any questions for Linda on anything?
I am going to wrap up things downstairs, so
Head
we'll leave
downstairs.
you early, but if you do or you want to give me a call. Good to meet both of you or see both of you. I appreciate that, okay? Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much for jumping in. As always.
I will say on the transportation, we had talked about possibly when we are super busy and we do have an availability that the van might be able to shuttle people from Central over to here to help accommodate some of these large programs that we have. So we have been really, really busy. Transportation, like, it's been a while, but I'm jumped back into it right now and it is super busy right now. So between, like, I'd like to say that it's been a quiet summer, but between outreach and transportation right now, yeah, I am like,
For you, it has
that's what I need. But it's been good. It's been, the day flies by now. My report, it kind of stays the same, some of it, not the numbers, but like the resources, they're always, doesn't even matter how many people come to my meet and greet. It's always such a fun, interaction with the people that I'm doing the tour with. I love to give a tour of the building. I think that, you know, it was a beautiful facility that, you know, Linda and those that worked with her to create this building. I can't say enough about it. I've been to some of the other senior centers and we really shine with what we have here. So I love my new meet and greet. I love my resources for caregivers. I tried to create that one in addition to the one that we have Susan Ott doing. She's a social worker that does it on the third Wednesday of the month. I do it on the first Monday to try and target my people that are in the social day program, their spouses or caregivers to come into it, so I do get them. And I always pick a different topic and, you know, it seems to go over really well. Everyone, you know, enjoys both groups, mine as well as Suzanne's. Yeah,
Just before you go on the newcomers meet and greet, I know that it's really an important thing, and and I know the numbers are a little bit less than you would like.
yeah.
But I guess my question is, I mean, I'm wondering, you know, even when I read what you write here, you know, did you recently move to Scituate, are you retired, blah, blah, blah. I'm wondering if it would be helpful to like even make up some flyers.
There are, but they're not probably published, like maybe bring it to the post office, is that what you're saying?
Like,
something
yeah,
that?
like, or the community board at the village market.
True.
Or, in other words, and the other thing, which I was doing for the
Right.
grief groups, is the South Shore Senior News. It would be, I'm just, my brain is
No,
thinking
that-
about this.
That's a great idea.
I
That's
really
not-
think it would be great to have a column in the South Shore Senior News
Right.
every month.
Yeah.
Not just dedicated to grief, I mean, because now they have somebody
Right,
else doing
right,
that, but
yeah.
almost like, you
What's
know,
going on?
what's happening at the senior center.
True, because we are super active here, I mean,
Right, but
Yeah,
there, and there's
people
still a
coming in
lot
and-
of people.
Right.
I mean, I know a lot of people that still have not stepped foot in this
Right.
place.
right.
Because they don't perceive themselves to be seniors.
Right.
They're
And
92.
we all are,
Right.
no, but I mean,
No,
you know,
sure.
55 and older, I mean, we have a lot of and I'm constantly pitching that.
Yeah,
But I think, you know, I just wanted to throw that out because even to do that in the South Shore Senior News, and then the other one is,
St. Mary's maybe?
yeah,
I mean, I'm not sure, I don't know, do they charge to advertise in the
no,
bulletin?
I mean, if it, that, I mean, yeah, we could talk about that, you know, offline, but the other thing is that new magazine, the Scituate Living magazine, is it Scituate
Yes,
Living? I
yeah.
just got it
That's
right.
it, yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
is
they
that-
do a feature article on a lot of different things, and it'd be really great to get in touch with the editors and maybe have, again, you know, what's happening at the senior center.
Oh, definitely.
Linda was in it at one point.
That was only one time. I'm talking about doing this as, to get the word out specifically about newcomers. Like, when I first moved into the town, I'd never been to Scituate in my life, and I didn't know anyone. And
Right,
I relied most heavily on St. Mary's as my initial connection.
right.
But I think it's great that the senior center has this, you know, meet and greet for newcomers moving into the town.
Maybe a quick blurb on the radio station.
True, true, yeah.
So where is this radio station? This is separate apart from the Marshfield one? Oh, it's
Oh, yeah.
a
It's a new one.
Yeah, it's a husband and wife team. I met them at Heritage Days. I'm assuming they're just like broadcasting out of their house.
I think it's 101.3?
Yes.
I've listened to it a little bit. They're good, but it doesn't go very far.
Right.
8
No.
miles.
It really doesn't, but
No.
the
but it goes
the
to-
South
so
Shore
it covers
Senior News,
Scituate.
and that gets dropped off
Right.
at all of the senior
Right,
housing.
exactly.
It gets dropped off at the
Mhm.
library, it gets dropped off at the village market.
Okay.
It would be a really great vehicle for encouraging people.
Yeah, no, I would love it, 'cause like, honestly, they are so fun when I do them, or
Yeah.
I feel like I'm selling the
And a
place,
blurb
but I'm
on
like, no.
cable TV?
True. I thought of that, I thought about doing a whole video of the place,
Do it.
kind of for people
Do it.
to
Yep.
see.
Absolutely
Yeah.
do it. I mean, Steph likes to keep them like wicked short because people's attention span
Right,
is very
right.
short, but
But so that they know
Yeah.
what they're missing, like I
Yeah.
try and promote that, you know, we're not like old school where it's just come here and play bingo, I mean, we have so much going on.
And we don't even do bingo here.
I think they might do it maybe once in a while,
But I'm
not
just
bingo.
saying, like, it's not like my mom and
Right,
dad's senior
right.
center.
Well,
It's
that's what I
just,
try and say, yeah.
okay, so I just wanted to
No,
throw
those
that
are
out.
great ideas,
Okay.
thank you.
Do you do virtuals here?
Virtual.
Sure. I guess we could, we haven't,
No.
no one's asked for that.
I think it's good to get people in.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's always good to get them in, but it's virtual tours, you can like, you know, put the carrot out.
Right,
You know,
right.
just give them a little taste of it, and then tell them to, you know, come here to see more of it.
Sure.
True,
For
yeah,
this little, 5 minutes with Seth.
yeah,
Yeah.
true.
He'll be out of here in like 20 minutes and have a beautiful little
Yeah.
video for you within days, so.
Yeah, sounds good. All right. Yeah, so I mean, I'm up for, any sort of marketing, we are talking about our parking here, that is an issue, but absolutely, I love it when people are here. It's just such a hustle and bustle. I love the crowd we get for lunch here. I can't say enough about it, and our social day program. Like, so dear, like, I didn't have anybody with dementia, but since doing the program, I love ours. I can't say enough about it. I can't wait that I do it tomorrow, Monday and Wednesday, because you laugh the whole day with them, you have so much fun. And it's
That's nice.
such.
Are you pitching for volunteers, by the way?
I know, right? Like, just people, even the volunteers love it.
Yeah.
But it's just such a respite for the caregiver that is so needed, especially when it's like someone a younger person getting dementia or Alzheimer's. It's really hard on them. It's the whole dynamics of their world changes. So I love our program.
When I go to a program and it's they're due to be there, I love that they look so enthusiastic
Oh,
about
yeah.
going.
Yeah.
You
No, they
know,
call it
it's
club.
really nice,
They call our
It
program
isn't like
club.
they drag,
Yeah.
they're enthusiastic
Mhm.
with who's bringing them.
And they love.
Yeah, they've all
Lucia.
bonded.
Yeah. So I love this program. I'm so glad that we started it here. Jen Adams was a big part of doing that with Linda. So can't say enough about that. Handyman volunteer program, it's kind of when people call and whether they can afford it or not afford it, it depends how I send it out. I sometimes use South Shore Habitat for Humanity. In fact, she just called me, the woman there, saying, "We still have money, so if I know anybody looking for any sort of critical home repair, they have the money still."
Really?
So that's interesting to use that. And I am always trying to do any sort of networking. I do the name always throws me, that it's such a tricky name. What is it?
Is it collaboration or something?
No, the one, I don't know, Senior Service Network Boston South.
South Boston.
Right.
Oh my
So
God.
I love that one though. I mean, I am the only one there that's really looking for cards. Everyone else there is trying to sell themselves.
Uh-huh.
And it's great, but so then we all get up and do our 5-minute, not even 5-minute, 2-minute little spiel, unless you're hosting the monthly event. And I'm like, just give me all your information. And so it's great for me because I'm making all these connections as well. So whether, it's, with agencies or assisted living or realtors or whatnot, I now have such a bigger network.
Mhm.
And so the one coming this month happens to be at Sunrise. So if people are interested, you can go over to Sunrise. I don't think I can make that one. I have also been put on the board of renaming the elementary schools. The 2 elementary schools that are combining. Somehow I got picked for that, which is fun. But there was only 2 meetings, but it falls on the same one. So
Yes, you need meetings for that?
2 meetings, you have to, 2 meetings for picking the name, the new name it's gonna be. They're not gonna go with Hadley or Cushing, they're gonna,
How about half a week dash cushion?
no, because the new building is all gonna be have an ocean effect to it. So you kind of wanna have some sort of name that relates to that, whether it be like, mine was like Mind Elementary. That sounds perfect. So, yeah, and it has to have some history behind it, and so it's kind of
Ew,
interesting.
is that
and fun.
complicated, huh?
Heavily
Interesting and
pushing
fun.
both.
But so when I jump on the Zooms all the time, with regard to dementia and different groups there, I'm also doing a project manager certification program through the Mass Council on Aging for my outreach position. So I don't think that it should affect it, that I am now going to be assistant director. But because everything's been submitted and the certification will happen in the October conference.
Good.
So, but other than that,
I have a question.
Is there anything else?
well, I did want to say thank you. I just want to say how honored I am to step into the assistant director position. I am deeply committed to our seniors, our staff, and our mission here at the senior center, and look forward to kind of continuing working with everyone and doing this job.
See you next month.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
In two places you have South Shore Elder, and one is home care. I wondered what the other referrals were for.
So sometimes I will, money management.
Okay.
Yeah, that one, and what else do I use, special elder services? I talk to Kristen Nally a lot, so a lot of that would be home care or dealing with Meals on Wheels. So I'm kind of all over with the special elder services, like different avenues.
Thank you.
Sure.
Awesome. Does anybody have any questions for Kelly?
When are you gonna sleep?
Thank you.
Welcome.
Well, it is hectic right now, just doing the,
Both.
You're doing a pretty job.
yeah. But it's good, it's good.
Yeah, I'm sure, that doesn't stop.
No, I think that transportation will be hired soon.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're on vacation, Lucille and Alex, so that just happened to fall in the same. But,
Very good, thank you.
Sure.
Kenzie,
Oh,
I'll start with you.
all right. So, I actually have some good news this month. It's been the first time I've been reporting any good news. But there was a meeting with the state in July, and actually the state has paid about 25% of what they owe South Shore for services in the last fiscal year. They still owe 75%. But that's part of the good news. And they will reimburse for the services eventually. I think part of the issue, although it wasn't stated, is that they're getting reimbursement from the feds, and then it's just moving it down the line
Yeah.
from feds to state to South Shore.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's a considerable amount of money.
Sure.
And there has been a deficit for a while, the entire year, well, not the fiscal year, but the calendar year. So getting any money coming in was a good thing. Also,
They're still on very tight strings, right?
Yes.
They gotta be.
South Shore has no credit line. They just operate day to day. So deficit is real. And so, you know, other agencies in the area are using their credit lines to
Yeah, extend.
float the money for themselves in the hope that eventually they'll get reimbursed by either the state or the feds. And that's not an option for South Shore. But the good news is that many months ago, they applied for a grant, a federal grant, and lo and behold, they got the money.
Awesome.
And the most amazing part is that because it was so late, they actually got interest on the money that they were owed in the grant. I have never heard that
Never
ever
heard
in
of
my
that
life,
either, right?
that interest was paid on a grant that
Right.
came in so late. But anyway, that actually is going to go to a long way to moving services forward. No services have been stopped by South Shore. The state actually has put in place its fourth tier wait list. So those are the people who are least in need. So those are people who maybe just had like an operation and need food for a couple of weeks or a
Mhm.
month. Or it would be someone who needs a minimal amount of services to get them by.
Couple hours, couple
Yeah,
days.
like, so actually throughout the state, not just here, those people are going on a waiting list. And as there are opportunities to move people from the waiting list into services, that will happen. South Shore has made a determination that if someone's coming out of a hospital, whether there is money or not from the state, that no one is going home without food. So I don't know how many people that will be,
Yep.
but it's a very important service that people need. Having done my knee last year and needing a lot of care when I came out of the hospital, I was happy to have the food there. That was one thing I didn't have to worry
Right,
about.
right.
Because you can't, I mean, if you're just coming out of the hospital, you're not gonna be in the kitchen cooking a giant meal for yourself, you know?
So is it like Meals on
It
Wheels?
could be Meals on Wheels, it could be something else, but usually it's a home delivery of meals.
Okay. The other question I had for you, and not to interrupt,
That's
but
okay.
since you're talking about that, people coming out of the hospital, so if there was somebody that had been Section 12 and was put into, you know, like a psychiatric ward, like at Good Samaritan or something like that, and now they're gonna be released, and they really can't go back to where they were living because they're not,
Welcome anyone, or
and
able to
or
stay.
it's not livable because
Right.
they didn't properly take care of their space
Mhm.
and they don't have a
Now they're
place to
at risk
go.
of homelessness.
Essentially, it's, yeah, so, but, I mean, is that something, I mean, that's a pretty, because you said somebody being released in the hospital needs food.
They-
What if they need housing?
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole other
That's a
level of
whole
need
different-
I know.
that doesn't come under this tier 4.
No, I understand that, but does
Yeah.
it come under South Shore Elder Services?
I don't know, that's a question I will have to ask.
I would
mean,
really
I
be
would-
interested in knowing.
I would guess if you have no home and you have no place to live, that it's, I know
Versus
from
being
my own
thrown
experience,
into a
it's very
shelter.
difficult to give services or bring services to people that don't have a place.
Right.
And so I don't know how that could possibly be part of their service, because part of it is the state will give you an address and other information so that within a day or two, you can reach out to the people and talk to them and find out what their needs are, do some kind of
Right.
intake with them. But I'll find out for sure, but
Could
my
you-
guess is that's not something that the state is going to be giving to people. And those people may stay institutionalized because of that. Because
But the problem
you-
is then insurance doesn't pay for it, so
yeah,
that.
but if they don't have any insurance, under EMTALA, and until they're stabilized and they have a place to go, they're not gonna be able to let them out of a hospital. That's one thing.
Even if insurance doesn't pay.
But EMTALA is not insurance. EMTALA is the Emergency Medical Program, EMTALA. That's a federal program that pays for people who come in with an emergency and have no insurance.
What if they do have insurance?
If they have insurance, then that's a whole other,
Okay.
yeah.
Maybe you can find out.
Yeah, and I will, I'll check with them to be sure, but I'm pretty sure
Because
that,
the shelter system, I mean, there's so few shelters and
They're jammed.
I know.
they're jammed. I mean, I used to volunteer at the 2 different shelters for women coming out of domestic violence, and I mean, it's all these shelters, they only have like a half a dozen beds or
And half of them won't take you if you have,
any issue.
or an existing mental health issue that is unresolved,
Right.
because it's too stressful for everyone else, and they can't handle having that kind of person in
Right.
a shelter or a home or someplace else.
Right.
Because it's too
Staff
disruptive, you know? But it's this, remember, it's the state, except for people who call up, get a referral from you, and then call up on the helpline, that these are our referrals coming from the state. And the state's not gonna give a referral for a person who is not having what they would call a domicile, right? They need to have
Okay.
home information,
Interesting.
something.
Okay.
So-
It would be interesting to find out if there are other resources for people like that.
Yeah, I mean, my guess is we'll hear a lot about that now that the people in DC are going to be moved around. I mean, I heard a piece on the way here about how there are X number of beds and the people who are on the streets, I think it was only, sounds silly to say only, but 800 people in DC on the streets.
That's a lot of people, that's
It
a
is
lot of homes.
it's a lot of people,
homes.
it's a lot of beds, there aren't that many beds. Even if all the beds were empty and they put new people in them, there aren't enough beds for people. So we're gonna be hearing about those issues, and it'll probably filter through onto our local media, where
Okay.
they'll be talking about those kinds of things with Mass and Cats and all.
Yeah, I was just
you
gonna
know,
say Mass and
less,
Cats.
less money, they're not gonna put people in hotels in Massachusetts anymore, those kinds of things. So what's happening in DC is gonna move into our local media, and we'll be hearing more about it. But my, off the top of my head, I would say no,
Okay,
okay?
thank you.
What other good news can I shout in now that you've blown it off?
Well, I figured this will give you an opportunity to give more good news, so
Right,
more
let's see if I can
uplifting.
find a little bit. This is on the federal side. This is not from my meeting. Dr. Oz has expressed an interest in doing more home-based community services waivers through Medicaid. Now, that actually is very good news, if it's true. I mean, he did say it, I read it in the media, so one hopes. I mean, whether that could be something that the administration will do is a whole other story. But that was my one bright light from DC this week. But that's about it. And I'll keep you updated for what's happening, and I will check on
Okay, great.
whether, and I'll bring it back to the next meeting if I don't see you beforehand.
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you.
Can I just make a
Yeah,
comment? In every hospital, they have what they call financial counselors.
Yep.
Okay,
And the financial counselors, you don't have to have a roof over your head. You can be
No.
homeless,
That's true.
and they will work with them while they're in the hospital.
Right.
The hardest thing is you have to find a social security number for them. That's the most difficult thing.
so is that true like at all hospitals,
All
like a good,
hospitals
even like
have
this?
financial counselors.
Okay,
It's done by the state.
okay,
They have to go to training, and every hospital has them. They go to the floors, and they also go to the emergency room, and they try to make sure that they have health care. So where I am, I work in the bridge, we have homeless people who, are homeless, obviously, because that's their,
the status.
the status, I guess. But they do have health care, so they are receiving health care.
Okay.
And a lot of places also have rides for them also, to get to pharmacy, grocery shopping, and then to the hospital or to like a doctor's
These
appointment.
are people that are discharged,
Yes.
and are they all, they're not, are we talking still about people without a place to live, or
Both.
both? Okay.
Yeah. They try to get them into the system.
Right.
And they may have already had, some kind of insurance, and they're not even aware of it anymore. Or they don't have the cards, or they lost their wallets.
Sure. Yep.
But when the financial council comes and starts running everything,
Yeah.
they find out that they do have insurance.
Yep.
So that helps them,
Process it.
process, and
Yeah.
it's free of charge.
Oh,
And they try to get them before they leave, which is
okay.
big.
Okay. Kenzie, thank you. Freya, what's going on in town?
What's going on? A lot. We just had our retreat on Tuesday, and we're gonna have some budgeting struggles.
Off-site? You were off-site for your retreat?
Yeah, at the Maritime Center.
Okay.
Never been
Oh.
there. It's very pretty. So yeah, I mean, I think the budget is gonna be huge for fiscal year '25. I was hoping to get an update on this, but I don't know when the Grantham group is supposed to come back. Because obviously that will
It's gonna
impact
be-
you dramatically. And to follow up with our meeting, we met maybe a month ago.
Mhm.
I did speak with a couple guys who were interested with mental health and helping So there's still money in the grant that the 3 towns have. So Scituate, Cohasset, and Hingham did a health survey like a year ago.
Yep.
We finally got the results released like yesterday. And I have a clinical psychologist and another man who are willing to work on it, sort of like pro bono, to figure out like what we need. Supposedly there's money left in this grant, but because the grant has the word equity in it, it might be pulled.
Okay.
So you can't even make this stuff up. But, so yeah, we're gonna work on that, because I did make that one of my priorities for the coming year.
Well, we're trying to do a mental health breakout session at the health fair here in October, so maybe we can tie something together. So, thank you. Anything else?
Not that, I mean, there's a lot going on. The Harbor Master Building's not going forward. So
It's
that's-
not?
No, it's
Wow.
not.
A lot of people were up in arms about
They
that.
were very much up in our, well, because they did this study for Cole Parkway and realized that you can't protect Cole Parkway. You have to protect the whole harbor, which is privately owned on both ends. So now we got a grant for like $93,000 to study the whole harbor. And the thought is that like once we figure out what we're doing with the whole harbor, you know, whether it's putting 7-foot-high cement barricades or whatever, then you figure out what you're doing with the harbor master. I mean, because that project ballooned, it was like 6, 8, 12, you know, for
It was
basically.
20 from, yeah.
Yeah, for handicapped accessible bathroom. I mean, they started this feasibility study to see what it would cost to get handicapped accessible bathrooms, and that turned into $12 million. So,
And blocking the view of everybody.
yeah, so that's not
Yeah.
happening right now.
What's happening with, speaking of projects, what's happening with the community building?
That's still ongoing. I don't think they're gonna have enough funding.
To do
Honestly.
anything with it?
I think they're gonna try to get some CPC money. But again, it's like you can't, like, we're facing $1 million budget deficit, like just for operational costs. We cannot,
Do
in my opinion, we should not be raising the taxes for anything else right now.
Right. It seems such a shame because that building is still used. It
Yeah.
is.
It is
Jumping-
used, people
It's
go
used
over
all the
there.
time. I
For
know,
fun.
because
I
I
know.
live right down the street from there, so I
Yeah.
go by there all the time. It just seems a shame. It's a great location that it couldn't be, just the building couldn't be like rehabilitated to make it more usable.
It's been studied so much.
And rather than tearing it down and, you know, putting up a parking lot.
Yeah, well, I think the argument was if you do improvements that are 50% above the assessed value of the building, you then have to become FEMA compliant. So it would have to be
Oh,
like
I
the
see.
Harbor Master building, like 20 feet,
I get it,
in the
okay,
air.
I understand.
and then you'd need like a ramp a mile long
And that's the reason why
to
another
be
restaurant
ADA
didn't go in there,
compliant.
probably.
Well, I have kudos for the access to the boat that came in,
Oh yeah, the disabled boat.
yeah, that because they had been renovated, that it was accessible.
Oh, good,
Yeah, I had a friend that was on it.
awesome.
It was just the catamaran that was designed from the ground up for handicap accessible. Could fit 9 wheelchairs and a companion.
Oh, wow.
And, I mean, they just look so happy going there, you know, and I had a friend that became paraplegic after a car accident. You know, it was a wonderful day for her.
Yeah.
That's something you don't get to do very often
Yeah.
if you're in that situation, so that's awesome.
Went up and down the coast, you know, and I think it was a Feather and Citrus Cap, the other towns that were involved, you know.
I don't know who
Nice.
set that up, but
Yeah.
it looked like it was good. So yeah, as always, there's a lot going on and no easy answers, but I think that, you know, that everyone on the board is, you know, absolutely committed to figuring things out as best we can.
That's great. So you're enjoying your new role?
I am, so far. It's only been a couple months.
I know.
Give it time.
I actually have to hop out right now because I've got planning board at 6:30.
Oh, yeah.
But thank you
thank
for
you.
having me. I'll have a better report next time now that I know I'm on the hook. The Historical Commission is doing a huge preservation plan that will be detailing like specific areas they want to work on preservation, which I think is going to be really
That'll be great.
interesting. So we should be seeing that soon.
Great, well, thank you for
Awesome,
your
thank you.
service
Yeah.
to our town.
Gonna try my damnedest.
We all
We just
do.
need to find some water and we'll be good to go.
It's not brown.
And a little sewer for the North Situate while you're
No,
at it.
that's happening in 27. They
Oh, it really is?
yeah, I actually signed paperwork. My property's off a country way, and I had to sign paperwork for time bonds to come on and survey for the sewer. So it's like actually happening. They're really.
It's gonna be great for,
It's going to be very shocking for a lot of people. I mean, because if you see the zoning maps, it goes very far out in all directions. I mean, the sewer itself is just for the business district, so it's like Cosmos to.
but to even have another restaurant there would be,
No, they're building
Well,
Beer garden.
Yeah.
It's almost open.
It's opening this week,
It's
I
opening.
think. The same one that's in Cohasset.
Yeah.
where is it?
Where
At Jamie's.
Yeah.
Jamie's spot.
Yeah.
Finally.
Split
They
Rock.
opened Beer
Beer
Garden.
garden.
Yeah, well, it's
I
Split
don't
Rock.
drink
Split
beer.
Rock
Yeah,
is
I'm not
a.
I think they'll have distilled spirits as well.
Okay,
I hope everyone has a good
beer
day.
garden.
Thank you.
Thank
It's
you.
going to the old Jamie's on that property.
Well, that's
Yeah.
good, so it'll be no longer
Yeah,
a,
Yeah?
There's
No,
something there.
You should drive by it.
Yeah.
Because they're.
There's
they-
clearly something.
Yeah.
oh, okay, I'll
They put
drive
up
by. I mean, it's just like,
walkways
on-
and-
it's not, you know,
Not Situate.
It's, oh yeah, it's not a
okay.
vacant lot anymore.
oh, no,
Yeah.
they're moving and grooving.
Yeah.
No, I think either this week or next week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. I think so.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay, well, that'll be
Next
exciting.
week was Jamie's restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brent.
Fine, there'd be some places
And
situated.
it's been,
Yeah.
because
Right.
it couldn't get sewers,
Yeah.
you couldn't build,
All
rebuild.
right, so
Now it's,
we're at the limit.
You're on.
I'm sorry, I'm
It's
getting
okay.
up there.
She was telling me about the restaurant.
So,
What's going on with Foss?
Boss, we had our annual meeting in July, which involves the annual financial reports and elections. The financial reports were wonderful. Actually, I'm not giving you figures or anything, but what we started with, we're just about ending with. So we've spent money, but we brought some money in, and it's, you know, neutral.
Which is balanced. Yeah, stable.
And we've been able to do a lot of different things, bring in the theater event and pay for a lot of the entertainment here and pay for the coffee and all that sort of stuff that we really want to do, and then get reachers for
And I've given some out.
Fresco, and if you have you,
Yeah, I
okay.
have. They've been very happy with them, yeah.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
What are you giving out?
She,
Reachers.
Boss gave us grabbers.
Oh, okay, I remember.
Grabbers, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So Foss donated, oh no, I better remember, forget the
I
amount,
think I
12
had,
to
yeah.
12 to the senior center and
13 to the,
13 to Etrusco. Just,
Okay.
and they're, you know, according to Etrusco, they're the most looked for thing to get.
Oh.
people who get out of the hospital can't reach for things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can't
yeah.
bend over.
For
Yeah.
short people that can't reach the top.
Wait, who are you talking about?
And then we had our election, which resulted in a significant difference in the Board of Officers, and in the actual board itself, too. The new president is Kenzie Vanderbrook.
Oh, wow, congratulations.
Okay, I think I knew that. Yep.
Sympathy should be given, not congratulations. Spoken from the
previous president.
Uh-huh.
The new vice president is Sandy, I forgot Sandy's last, Duffy, who has been actively involved in the past with Foss. She's the new vice president. We have a new secretary, Deb Stelzer, I'm not sure how I'm pronouncing that correctly. we retained the same treasurer, Brad Merritt, and the same membership coordinator is Jane Young. We've had one new board member, Brian, last name starts with a P and I can't pronounce it, but he's a new board member and will be on board. I have moved down to be just a board member, and we're going to operate like that. The next thing we have on our agenda is the holiday fair, which is upcoming, which will be November 15th here at the senior center. We did this last year and it was very successful. We had significant, like 20 vendors that came in and set up and they did all the work and paid us for letting them to do it here. So it was very successful.
I think getting it in earlier in the holiday season is better.
That's right, yeah.
Is Santa coming?
Because if you do it like after Thanksgiving, everybody's having a holiday
And
fair.
it gets too busy, right?
Right.
Yeah, so that's what we're trying to do.
I just want to know if Santa's coming.
Yes, it is.
Good.
Same as last year, and
I got to sit
we're
on
looking
his
at
lap last year.
the same food truck. That type of thing will be continued. Food truck is the one from Lucky Finn's in the
Miss Emily?
Greenbush.
Miss Emily's?
Pardon?
Miss Emily's?
No.
No, no,
The burger-
no. We had
burger
a food truck from Lucky Finn's.
Lucky,
at that-
that's the Lucky Finn restaurant, yeah.
Oh, Lucky Finn has
It's
its
in
own food
Greenbush,
truck.
they had
Yes,
their
they
own,
do.
yeah.
Can I ask you one question? Last year, I know that it was the same day as the high school
Yes.
fair. Is it different this year?
I don't know when the high school fair is. The reason it was the same day as last year is because the high school fair changed their date at the last minute.
Yeah, because that was a
Okay,
bit
you know, go to the
unfortunate.
high school fair and then come here.
Yeah.
Right, right, true. And a lot of people did do that,
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
But a lot of people, like if they came here and they shopped, and then it was like, you know, or vice versa, you know, it's like you have only so much money.
Yeah, we tried to make it different last year,
Yeah.
and then the
That would be-
high school changed it, so
Yeah,
Okay, I got it.
those things happen.
those things do. So that's what's going on right now. Questions?
Questions? Anybody have any open business, old business? All right. I guess we can close up. Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll
Ben
second
and Susan, awesome. And our next meeting will be, am I looking at this right? September 12th, does that sound right? Yes.
So I will not be here.
Okay,
I'll be in Norway.
September 12th.
Whoa.
Where will you be?
Norway.
No way?
Way.
No way.
Norway.
Oh,
You're
well.
gonna be in the well when you back up
No,
here.
September 12th is not, it can't be, it must
No,
be September 11th.
Pardon?
September 11th is a Thursday, so I'm looking at it old.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
I still won't be here.
Okay. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.